Good evening. I'm your host here this evening, reporting live from London with senior journalist Raja Sultan. Today, we're honored to have Almaas from Leeds, a former counsellor, a dedicated worker whose history we'll discuss here today. But before we go into that, we're going to discuss one key element which has been troubling people of the area of Pakistan, especially Gilgit-Baltistan. Gaur, thank you very much for coming to London today to speak to me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Gaur, you're a former counsellor. You've been a counsellor you were a counsellor for how long?
For 2 terms, yeah.
For 2 terms, so that's about 8 years. And you represented which party?
The Labour Party, and it's Holbeck, Beeston and Holbeck ward.
Right, fantastic.
In Leeds.
And your background prior to being a counsellor, what is it you did professionally or do professionally?
Well, I worked for various energy companies. I'm an electrical engineer by profession, and obviously got my education in the UK and other countries as well, including Azad Kashmir and Pakistan. And then I came here and I used to work for British Gas, British Telecom, and various other communication companies.
Fantastic. So what was the drive? What was that trigger that as a professional you decided that you wanted to give back to the community? Because being a counsellor is not an easy job.
Yeah, well, obviously I've always been a bit of a philanthropist and sort of a community leader, representing not only just the Pakistani community but a wider community, because obviously the area that I represent is predominantly non-Pakistanis, obviously, and people from Yorkshire and whatever, of all faiths. So yeah, the main thing is, if you like your neighbors, if you want to do stuff for your community, I've always done that. Also, if you remember when 7/7 happened, the alleged bombers and the bombers were from Leeds and from my ward. So I did a lot of work in terms of community cohesion, interfaith dialogue, and held various workshops and whatever. Not just that on the philanthropic side, I also represented the West Yorkshire Police as the first Muslim deputy chair for the Independent Advisory Group. I was also chair for the Fire Authority, Community Safety, and various other roles within the community, working for the NHS, being a governor at the NHS Foundation, and so on. So yeah, I've done lots of stuff. But predominantly, the whole idea is to bring communities together, because after all, I think it's our duty and obligation to make sure that we do something and leave a good legacy behind, not just for our own community, but for the wider community where we live. So I'm proud to be a Pakistani, alhamdulillah. I'm proud to be British, and most importantly, I'm proud to be a Muslim as well.
That's fantastic. I think there's lots of people out there that are maybe thinking of walking that tight, slippery route of being a counsellor. Maybe they just want to help out, give back to the community like you've done. So I suppose you're a fantastic role model especially for the younger people that want to come into this line.
That's very kind of you. I do lots of other stuff as well for the youth and so on. I personally believe at the end of the day, rather than trying to change the world, I think it's better if you do stuff for your own family to begin with, for your neighbors, for your street, your wider community, and then you spread out. So the issue with our people is sometimes, we want to change the world without changing our own street and doing something locally.
So the subject area that I really do want to home in on today and discuss, you've just said that you should start within the family, relatives, your neighbors, and then slowly but surely branch out. So Dr. Shaukat Ali, who's a renowned doctor here in the UK, he originates from Gilgit-Baltistan. He brought to your attention some absolute horrific news, which led you to start a campaign which crossed international borders. So just to put that into perspective, 28 children or young adults, all male, I believe, got a visa from Pakistan, traveled to Cambodia under false pretenses, and then they were asked, well, they were ill-treated and they were asked to do jobs that they maybe didn't want to do. So I want you to just elaborate on what actually happened, how you found out about this information, and what you done in your own capacity to help free these 28 people.
It's a classic example of modern day slavery. So what happened basically, my good friend and my brother Harun Rashid, who is the honorary ambassador of Gilgit-Baltistan to the UK, we just were socializing with some friends of his who coincidentally came from Gilgit-Baltistan, and this chap is a really renowned IT specialist, and he does a lot for the NHS and what have you, and he's lived in Scandinavian countries representing information technology, and did a lot of work in terms of artificial intelligence and so on. So he's doing quite a respectable and innovatory stuff with the NHS at the moment. So we were having dinner with him, and he just came across us and he said, this is what's happening. So he told us that 28 young men from Gilgit-Baltistan, from the Ismaili community and from other communities as well, as you said, were taken to Cambodia under false pretenses to work there. Obviously, joblessness is a big problem, unemployment is a big problem in our part of the world, and it seems quite attractive, to go and work abroad. So they paid to go to Cambodia to work there. Initially, for the 6 months or so, they were offered a job, and then thereafter, when the visa expired, they were basically sold to some gangs of Chinese people and various other gangs who not only ill-treated them but held them up as captives. They were forced to work for 16, 18 hours a day. They weren't paid and they were held against their will. So as soon as he told us that, it was quite a disturbing news for us. So I thought we need to take some initiative. So alhamdulillah, we used our contacts and whatever in Pakistan. Here, I would like to thank a few people as well. For example, the Overseas Pakistani Foundation chair here, Sayyid Kamar Raza, promised me personally in front of people that even if he had to go to Cambodia, he'll go there personally to help these young men. So a lot of work has gone into it. There's lots of people from the media, including Raja Saab, Sultan Saab, and also Ijaz Afzal from Manchester. He supported us a lot in terms of that. There was a lot of work done in Pakistan from the media as well, including my own cousin Malik Muin Akhtar, who took a special interest. He's a media and social media influencer. So people like that got involved. Then friends in Pakistan, for example, I can't name everybody, but there's people from the Pakistan Army who got involved. People, for example, my dear friends like Sardar Fahim Mia Khail, Fatihullah Khan Mia Khail, and the governor of KP, Faisal Karim Kundi, who's my junior. People like that got involved to the highest level and made sure that this information was fed to all the way up to the president, to the chief of the army staff, field marshal, and so on. So they all took special interest, and also I would like to thank the Pakistani diplomatic mission in Cambodia as well, who took special interest. So in the first instance, within 3 weeks, we got around 16 young people released, and it took a lot of hard work, and campaigning to get them released, because it wasn't easy, and they were quite endangered by these gang of people as well. And then another 8 got released, and then finally another 4 got released from the police station and whatever as well. So alhamdulillah, as we speak, all of them are safe now.
Some of them are all been repatriated back to Pakistan.
Some of them have been repatriated to Pakistan. They've come back to Pakistan. Some of them have stayed in Cambodia with their own will, working and whatever. But they're all free men now. They're free from those gangs of people. But they were quite intimidated and sort of treated really badly, which is a sad thing. And I would like to send this message out to our youth in Pakistan as well, for God's sake, please, before you get your visas coming to Pakistan, get a valid visa. And if you really want to work abroad, make sure that you're coming through legal ways and not illegal ways, because otherwise, these kind of things do happen. And some people, one of the lad actually lost his life as well while in Cambodia. So it's really tragic.
Very tragic.
But these kind of things are happening.
We now know, due to your efforts and the team that sits with you and sits around you, they made the right noises, pulled the right levers, and we've now managed to get some of them repatriated, and some are free from the gangs that were holding them hostage and forcing them to do work that they didn't want to do. But let me ask you a question. How can 28 people from still a very primitive area of Hunza get a visa to travel to Cambodia, and people in the FIA and immigration are absolutely blindsided by this? So do you believe there's some sort of collusion in this?
I'm absolutely disappointed that, these people weren't stopped and weren't sort of rigorously, if you like, checked before they left the country. In fact, at the moment, the Interior Minister, Mr. Naqvi, is paying special attention with regards to making sure that people who go abroad have got a valid documentation and whatever. In fact, they have fired quite a few senior people in the FIA recently because of similar scandals and whatever. It's very unfortunate that these kind of things are happening. However, Pakistan and the Pakistani government, I'm closely in touch with the officials. They're paying special attention, not just because of this case, but recently there's been loads of cases. Around 20,000 people have had these kind of issues. So they're looking into it. In fact, our Interior Minister was here yesterday. He met the Interior Minister, Home Minister for Britain. He's been to Brussels and so on for the EU, with the EU people as well. So things are being done, but then again, I think the responsibility lies with the individuals as well at the end of the day, because they'll try their best to stop these people, but if people are really desperate to come here, they need to make sure as well that they're not spending money to go to these foreign countries, and then, when these things happen, unfortunately, they have to deal with the consequences, and not just them, the families are deeply involved as well.
But does that not make this task so much more difficult because of the political situation on the ground in Pakistan? There's such a mass exodus of people that wish to leave the country because of the political instability. That's obviously added to the problems, the immigration, the FIA, the human trafficking organizations that are based in Pakistan.
Unfortunately, this instability isn't a new thing. It's been going on for a long time. But then again, I don't want to comment a lot, about the internal politics of Pakistan. Being a British citizen, even though I'm an overseas Pakistani, and I'm proud of being an overseas Pakistani, but I leave that task to the Pakistani government. But I'll urge the Prime Minister, the President, the Home Secretary, the Home Minister, and the other responsible people to make sure that these kind of criminals are dealt with an iron fist and make an example out of these kind of people. But you're absolutely right. They should actually deal with the root cause as well. And the root cause is, why are these young people leaving their own country for being this desperate? But then again, this issue is not just a Pakistan issue. We've got similar issues in so-called developing nations as India and Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and other nations as well. So it's not exclusively
it's not exclusive, but what we've seen in the last 3 or 4 years is almost unprecedented from Pakistan. It's a massive brain drain, which is going to affect the economy in the long term.
It's very tragic that we have this exodus on this scale. Yeah. But then again, there's no easy answers to this. It's a very complex situation in Pakistan, and as you know, Pakistan is surrounded by its enemies from all sides at the moment. So they are fighting on various fronts, and they've got challenges within the country as well.
Pakistan's biggest enemy not within Pakistan. The indigenous people of Pakistan are not friendly towards one another. And the first and most important and the obvious thing would be to have a stable government a government which is voted in, which is supported by the will of the people.
Yeah, I think democracy is the best answer to everything, because I'm being a Democrat, but then again, we need to make sure that, you know, the leadership plays a responsible role as well, and rather than having their own egos as a priority, they should make sure that they come together, especially join hands in terms of issues like this, where, you know, on the common issues, they should unite and make sure that they have a united stance rather than a divided stance.
So fantastic words to finish on. Democracy is always better than the best form of dictatorship. I fully agree with you. Thank you so much for all the efforts that you've put in. And because of your hard work that you've been doing behind the scene, and we all know that you've not done it for recognition. And even today, when I wanted to talk to you on this particular subject area, you said it's not me, it's a group of us, and you've refused to take credit for it. But most importantly, you took the lead on this. And because of your hard work, your efforts, today, 28 people are seeing freedom today. So on behalf of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan, and especially people from that particular region, Hunza, I assume if they could be here today, they would give you a hug and say a very big thank you. So on behalf of those people, thank you very much.
Thank you. I would like to thank you personally as well, and other friends like Mr. Harun Rashid and various other individuals, without whose support, you know, it's all about teamwork. You know, individually you cannot achieve such results. Without a joint and collaborative efforts of various individuals or organizations, it would have been impossible. So I just played my humble role.
I'm sure, and you're very humble and very selfless, and thank you so much for that. We've now got the honorary ambassador to Gilgit-Baltistan, who's here, who has been guiding you through this whole process as well.
Absolutely.
So Harun will come in, and he would like to present something to you. I think we'll all stand up if that's possible. Harun, if you'd like to just come forward.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Garbhai.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate all the work you have done. I do follow you, and you're a great ambassador in your own right. You're a bridge between Pakistan and the United Kingdom. And what you have done in repatriating, releasing, creating the awareness for these 28 young boys is really remarkable. You risked your own self, you created an awareness, and ultimately those children are back with their families, and they pray for your good health, and I understand their families are indebted to you. There's nothing much more I can do except pray for you, your noble causes, and may Allah Almighty bless you with happiness. And I'd like to present you with this handmade shawl.
Thank you.
Oh, and I'll put this around you as a gratification that you are one of our true warriors.
Thank you.
Pathan warriors, Pakistani warriors. Once again, congratulations.
And Saraiki warrior as well.
And
yeah.
Saraiki warriors,
Thank you
mashallah.
so much.
I'll let you do this your own way.
Thank you so much.
And
Qasim Riza will present you with a bouquet of flowers to say thank you on behalf of the family.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
So that concludes our interview here this evening. Thank you to everyone for listening, and good wishes, and we'll see you all soon.
Thank you.